This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to be talking top 5 perfumes, or my top 5 perfumes for the month of February 2021. These are the ones that I've been playing with the most. These are the ones that are enticing me the most, tickling me the most, and the ones that make me kind of fantasize and dream the most. Before we get to the list though, may I remind you that if you do like my channel, like what you see on a regular basis, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Click that subscription button. And right next to it, you can also click the join button and become a member of my channel today and get extra perks for that. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob all spelled together on Patreon, where you get to see special videos that never come to YouTube. A lot of secrets. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all my patrons and members who have pledged already, and also to thank my co-reviewers and co-chatters that are watching us live, because this is being filmed live, and I have my co-chatters in the chat right next to me that are ready to tell me what their top 5 for the month of February are. And also for whoever is watching this video later, it would be great in the comment section down below to let me know what your top 5 for the month of February are as well. Thank you for your time. First one, early in the morn. Now, before I say which one it is, remember, depending which part of the world you're in, right now, it's winter. So I know that for Australia, it's summer. But even if it's summer in Australia, there's still a concept of winter. I know it's kind of complicated to fathom, but I'm thinking winter. I'm thinking cold, okay? So my February is usually, the thought process for me is February is the coldest month of the year. Being the February the coldest month of the year, I usually tend to veer towards more enveloping, cocooning fragrances. The first one, waking up early in the morning, is a secret obsession, right? Right. This one is a big one because, well, let me tell you, it's very light. It's a big one, but it's very light. Okay, so it doesn't last long. It's a boozy wake-up call. It's a plummy, boozy rose. Okay, it's a boozy, plummy rose, like a brandy grappa rose, but it doesn't last long. So it's actually a refreshing type of a wake-up type of scent, almost like coffee. It doesn't have any coffee in it, but it has that feeling. Now, so it doesn't last long. It's a refreshing opening to something. It's also really well layered with other fragrances, but what is really big about it, in the big bottle, the 3.4 ounce bottle or 100 ml bottle, it's almost impossible to hold it. Like, you gotta have really huge hands to really hold it and spray it at the same time, because the 100 ml is really hard to maneuver because you kind of, it's just hard to reach for the sprayer. And so 50 ml is a little bit more handy, unless you got really big hands, in which case, you know. But anyway, so otherwise, there's a weird way of using this one like that. But it's not as stable doing it that like it doesn't feel right. I'm usually more for the longer. Oh, the puns. Anyway, so yeah, but the smell is amazing. And I shall review this one in the future. I haven't reviewed it yet, but if I have reviewed it by the time you're watching this top of the months, then the link to this one shall be in one of the cards up here or in the description box down below in the near future. However, it's a light, boozy, plummy wake-up call in February. It really works. It really works for February. This one really gets you going, sets the mood for the whole day. It's delicious, even if you're going to have like breakfast and you have your little marmalade and biscuits or crumpets or what have you. It enhances your olfactory experience. It's really great, especially, you know, lockdown, you're at home. If you wake up in the morning, some of us on lockdown, we wake up in the afternoon because what's morning, what's night, you don't know anymore. Nowadays, the day has become night and vice versa. But whenever you do wake up and you want your breakfast, no matter what time of day or night that is, this one, it accentuates the olfactive element of a sweet breakfast, not a savory breakfast. So if you're going to go for the omelet and stuff, this one is much better if you're going to do jam and marmalade. Such a beautiful little bottle, isn't it? Right, so that was number one, right? Yep. As I said, February is a cold month in general. In particular, because of lockdown, what I've noticed, there's less cars. People are going to work in some cases, in other cases they're not. There's way less traffic than there used to be. And this already started back in March of 2020. And I have the feeling the climate is recuperating a little bit. Why am I saying this? Because this is the coldest winter that's been going on since a long time. And I have the sneaky suspicion it has to deal with the fact that there's way less traffic, way less cars, way less airplanes, way less of all of that pollution. And I have the feeling nature is recovering. And first result of that is winter, for the first time in a long time, seems to be winter again. Like really cold. Like, you know, winter. So anyway, so this February is a very cocooning fragrance month for me. So what does this mean? I jump right to it. After Secret Obsession, I go for Le Lion de Chanel. Now, Le Lion de Chanel, literally, you guys, has become the most, in my opinion, of the eau de parfum les exclusives, the most intense les exclusives there is. Most intense doesn't mean it's the best. It's just really intense. It lasts days. In this current formulation, I'm sure they're going to water it down sooner or later, but it's intense. The hay, the labdanum, the incense in this. Damn, she borderline skanky. But she good. So anyway, of course, it's a dry type of warmth. So it's not... It's not a silky, velvety type of warmth. This one is, in its dry down, it's like a church. So it's a very aseptic type of warmth, very austere and severe. But it is warm, nevertheless, and it does keep you going throughout the whole day. This one to be worn on those days in February when I feel like... when I feel like I am understood, but I also need to be respected. I'm thinking about work, and regarded with that type of respect. Like, okay, well, before we ask Dacob any stupid question, we got to think twice. Don't disturb him while he's working. That's the type of fragrance this is. It cocoons you in that way. It is a protection shield in a way. So it's a very, very fascinating one. So that's number 2. Now, number 3, by the time I get to 4 p.m., 5 p.m., the sun is setting already. And I start needing something that is not austere and dry. I veer towards more warmth. A more liquidy, resinousy, kind of sticky honey quality warmth, which was delivered very well with bitter almonds and a very interesting velvety vanilla. And that would be Hypnotic Poison. Now, I know I'm obsessing with this one since a while now, but it just hits the spot for me. You guys, 2021, what can I tell you? Hypnotic Poison. The Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Toilette. Now, you see, this is a 150 ml bottle. This is a 100 ml bottle. So this is bigger in quantity than this one, but still this one is much more friendly. You could actually put it in the hand and spray it. It's not too big, but the way they've extended this, even in the 100 ml, it's just so huge. It's much bigger than Hypnotic Poison. So this is number 3, and this one is just the right amount of juicy, supple, warm, cozy, fluffy vanilla, slightly bitter because those almonds are there, and they're making you aware of the fact that it's a sophisticated evening, early evening. And it's a simple, warm embrace. It's just delicious, and it's just so soothing. It calms me. It's a very calming and soothing scent to me. in February. Go figure. But this is number 3, and it's in the heart of the day. It's the middle one of our 5 fragrances. So this is the third one. So yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. Well, now the night has fallen. And what do we do? Okay, so number 4 and number 5, chronologically speaking, I don't wear one before the other, not necessarily. There are those days where I crave one more than the other later at night. In which way should I show them? Let me show them, because they're both very intense and they're both very deep and quite dark in their way, in their own special way. So one of them is Noble Leather by Yves Saint Laurent. I love this perfume. Where can we see? Look at it. It's a fingerprint magnet. I'm sorry for all the fingerprints, you guys, but there you have it. Ooh, reflect the sun, the light. There it is. Noble Leather. Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah, unfortunately discontinued. They're crazy to discontinue this one because this one is a miraculous perfume. Saffron. Again, we got plum in here too. Dried fruits, vanilla, patchouli. Again, more vanilla. Again, the warmth. It cocoons you, it envelops you. It's boozy in its own way. This one is more like a brandy, grappa type of boozy. This is more like a cognac. This is a cognac type of, reflect, shimmy, shimmy, shimmer. Yes, queen. You go, queen. You reflect that light, girl. Show Yves Saint Laurent, show L'Oréal that you want to be brought back to the world and reproduced again. There it is. Noble Leather by Yves Saint Laurent. Saffron, dried fruits, plum. Oh my God, this one is so narcotic, you guys. And again, yeah, we started the day with plum and nutmeg, actually. This one also has a lot of nutmeg in it. And we're kind of ending it with plum again, but very different. They're so opposite in a way. A Secret Obsession and Noble Leather, even though they come kind of from the same idea, except this one is much heavier, darker, more sensual. This one is very sensual and narcotic. In fact, I often say that it resembles the smell of something, which has to remain unnamed on the tubes. But as brown as this, look at the amber color of this, you guys. As brown as it looks, it actually smells like something white. Just saying. Insane. Anyway, now this one can be used before or after the 5th one I'm going to show you. And the 5th one being, of course, we had to have a pure perfume in this selection because, I have to homage pure perfumes and perfumery. And I believe that pure perfumes should not be discontinued, but they're less and less in production because people don't buy them. But you don't give them credit, people. Pure perfumes are so amazing. And the fashion of reutilizing pure perfumes should be brought back. And that would be Jean-Paul Gaultier's Parfum of Classique. Oh, don't you fall on me. There you have it. Oh, no. Are you turning your back to your audience, darling? There you go, darling. Look at her and her bustier, the pure perfume of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Classique. We're going to take her out of her throne. We're going to take the little protection. Don't you fall on me, okay? I'm not going to, you know what? I'm not going to even open her. She's so intense even through the, Okay, Classique, the pure perfume, unfortunately discontinued. And yeah, what can I say? It's just amazing. This one, the amber vanilla rendition, bit of ginger in there. 90s in a bottle, but it transcends time. It's a powdery, you feel like you're in a theater all over again, and you smell old theater made out of wood. And I mean, I've reviewed this one. You could check the review of this one on my channel as well. But just to bring you back a visual, powdery old Parisian theater where you still smell the makeup in that dusty air of the thousands of actors and actresses that pass through that theater. And you could, when people walk over the main stage, you still hear, the crackling of the wood and that smell of the velvet chairs that the audience is always seated in. That whole thing combined is classique. It makes you just feel like you're in a different time. It makes you feel luxurious, voluptuous. It's delicious. It's delicious right before going to bed. That's why I said I kind of combine the two sometimes. I'm not layer them, but either one or the other, because they're very intense. They don't really go well together. They're in many ways also too similar to really waste them because they're both discontinued. So, you know, I really, really dose them carefully because I want them to last as long as possible. So, in fact, the color of the juice is also very similar. Of course, this one being a little bit darker. Well, it depends. If you see it in the thick version, they're both the same color. Oh, Gautier Classique, the pure perfume. You guys, I mean, you know, look at this beautiful bustier. Whenever I mention the name Madonna, most of you in the chat who are literally super young don't even know who she is. Tragic. But anyway, this is the era when Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour was going down. You know, this is the prime time of Jean-Paul Gaultier. And this is one of his famous Guêpières. This would be number 5. So as I said, sometimes it's number 4 and Noble Leather is number 5. And sometimes Noble Leather is the 4th one, and the 5th one is Classique, depending on which fragrance I want to have on me as I fall asleep. In these past nights, it's been more Classique. Like the one I go to bed with is this one, usually, lately. But, you know, February is still happening. So these will be my top 5, you guys. I hope you've enjoyed the list. Let me go to the chats now. Let me just secure this beauty here because I don't want her to open up. Could you imagine the waste of 30 mil? Okay, baby, putting you back in your protection. Look at this gorgeous can. Only Gautier, you guys. Only Gautier. Woom. Only Gautier. Gautier. Okay. Speaking of Gautier, by the way, let me read to you something some Oompa Loompa commented on my channel. You know, my How to Pronounce Jean-Paul Gaultier video with my friend. I did those a couple of years back. Somebody had the audacity, darling, to write something to yours truly. This one is a doozy. Are you ready for this? Talking about Jean-Paul Gaultier. So it's a short video where my French friend teaches me how to pronounce Jean-Paul Gaultier the right way. It's like a little tutorial video. So anyway, I'm trying to learn. I'm just trying to learn. This person says, this guy's, mine, American accent in French is incredible even after so many repetitions. Sounds so provincial also. Yuck. Vraiment l'accent de merde. This person had to edit that comment. I guess this person didn't find the comment or made some grammatical errors. But you see when somebody edits a comment, so this person edited their comment. So on top of being a troll, they had to edit their troll. Like, how lame. You got to edit your troll comment? Really, girl? Okay. So I had it officially, as Detox would say. So, so I'm going to read to you the more censored version of my answer because I had a... But anyway, I made it into an educational moment. I'm like, I've dealt with French in the past. We can't generalize. Some of you are amazing and I have some wonderful friends in France. But sometimes in my line of work, when I do travel to Paris, I do get to encounter some people who are so arrogant, who would look you in the face and say something like this, like your accent is really shitty. Which is basically what this person told me in French, right? Truly a shitty accent. Vraiment l'accent de merde. Okay, anyway. So I'm like, no miss thing. Let me tell you what is truly provincial. Because this person told me I sound provincial. Okay, I'm like, let me tell you what is truly provincial. Having to edit your own troll comment like you did. LMAO. Now crawl back to your escargot and boiled pigeon. This is the edited, my toned down version, because YouTube didn't let me post the one before that. I added a little bit more. It was a bit more spicy and zesty. But you get to hear the version that YouTube allowed me to read to you now as my answer. Good. Now let's get back to you guys. Okay, let me get to the chats. The notes are basically raspberry, mango, plum, lychee, and rose. I just smell like a fancy macaroon tonight, says MK. To which hi, love your shirt, says Rui. Thank you so much, Rui. Vivian Westwood. Love that bottle, says Candy Fluff. This one, yeah, it's a good one. Love big hands, says Lied to Me 101. Got so many compliments with fantasy from Britney Spears, and one day I had like 5 compliments at school. The bus drivers in the street, says Helen. Louis says, it's a big one, but it's light. First time I heard that sentence. Child, the shade. Jack says, my top 5, Cardinal Flower. Eden, by CACHAREL. Ambre Fétiche by Goutal. 4, Hypnotic Poison, Eau de Parfum by Dior. And 5, Tonka 25 by Le Labo. Louis says, ha 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 ha. Christian says, what an ambiguity, darling. Light and heavy, big and light at the same time. Oh yes, it can happen. We love longer too, says Louis. Unless you have big hands, in which case, call me, says Mr. Philip Fabulous. Richmond says, I'll tickle the bot. Oh, pardon me. Audrey says, go big or go home. Oh my God, you guys. Amelia says, and the air is much cleaner. Oh my God, you guys. Patrick says, odd enough, it's been a warm winter here in Minnesota. The previous 2 winters were way colder, although it was 20 last night with wind chill. Aisha says, loving Le Lion. Louis says, yes, mi Leon. Audrey says, I'm wearing Le Lion tonight. It's incredible. You see, a lot of you are wearing Le Lion. Annunciation, Dacob. Audrey says, oh, I read that one. I'm sure the online I will now. Louis says, I'm sure the online I will now. I don't understand that comment. Louis. Richard says, Le Lion has Sheldrake written all over it. I agree, Rich. It does. Candy Fluff says, love the idea of a hay note. I need to smell this even though so out of my budget. Candy Fluff, a perfume with a humongous hay note. Oh, thank you, Inya, for subscribing. Thank you so much. You see, now I'm out of, what did I want to say? Humongous hay note is in Cartier, la 13e heure, or the 13th hour. That hay is skanky. Pure sex. 13th hour Cartier. Try to get the older formulations. I think it's been discontinued though. Love the idea of a... Still haven't tried Le Lion. Cannot wait to try it, says Mr. E. Rich says, Audrey, Jane, do you have a bottle? Oh, of Le Lion, I guess. Louis says, I use Le Lion at work, but the Karens still ask me stupid questions, darn. The Age Traveler, hey, welcome to the chat, sweetie. Le Lion has Coco's voice. Is there an exact same way the few recorded interviews with her unveil? Her voice is not music. Her voice is that of a judge who is always right. She has a husky voice, but to me, her voice is like angels singing, but I'm biased because, I love the woman, so what can I say? But to me, she doesn't have a judge's voice. To me, she has a voice that has lived and that has experienced so much complications in her life. So to me, her voice doesn't sound like a judge that's always right. She sounds like somebody who's always had to defend herself. So her voice to me it's always defensive, and it always feels like she has to prove herself because she's always reminded that she's that orphan girl, that loser that comes from a poor family, that was abandoned, that has no mother, that has no father, that as a woman cannot become popular, that as a woman cannot have the right to design clothes and to build up her own empire, that as a woman she does not have the right to have her own voice. That's how her voice sounds to me, like somebody who is constantly being bullied and is finally fighting back. Just saying. Rich Mitch says, what is a Karen? A girl. Come on, Rich. Yes, it is worth adding to your collection, Rich. I don't know. Is that Dior Poison? Hypnotic Poison, darling. That's Hypnotic Poison, darling. Yes. Do you think Obsession took some bottle design inspiration from Poison? No, because Obsession, Jack, came before Poison. Obsession was released before Poison. So guess who took inspiration from who? Audrey says, because Obsession was released 1985. the first obsession. And Poison 1986-87. That YSL bottle is everything, says Mr. Philip Fabulous. It's just so beautiful, isn't it? The gold, the gold. Helen sends new from YSL was miraculous as well. It's been discontinued. Don't like the new version. The bottle was unique as well. Christian says, my top 5. 1, Egoist. 2, Cuir de Russie, the pure perfume. 3, Anteus. 4, Nasomatto Baraonda. And number 5, 4711, Ice Cold. Emilio says, oh my God, try to find Accord Chic by Yves Rocher if you like New by YSL. Accord Chic is amazing. Helen is like, really? By Yves Rocher? And Emilio says, yes, it's also been discontinued, but they sometimes have it on their online outlet. Helen says, thank you to Emilio. Candy Fluff, oh, how I covet that. Jean-Paul Gaultier, oh, me too. Audrey Jane says, I bought the Jean-Paul Gaultier Eau de Parfum for my sister for Christmas. Very pretty little scent. Emilio says, oh, Classique Parfum is divine. Bubblegum beauty. Helen says, I like this Gaultier perfume. Mr. Philip Fabulous says, Madonna called. She wants royalties for using her bustier. Of course she would want royalties. She's so money hungry, that woman. Amy says, I received this as a Christmas gift from a friend. He bought it based on your review. Oh, Amy, I hope you're liking it. Jack says, the Jean-Paul Gaultier bottles are just incredible. They really are super incredible. It's an ode to Schiaparelli's shocking perfume. True. The bottle, I mean. Yeah, the bottle. Yes, yes, yes. I adore this one, says Amy B. I'm happy to. Laura says, I love your description. Thank you, Laura, darling. Audrey says, Kim K copied that bottle. When did Kim K not try to copy something? She even copied her own butt to make her own butt as a butt. Copied by her own butt, which is a copy of her butt. So, but what am I talking about? Emilio says, yes, I miss the early 1990s sweet scents. That's why I'm wearing an old... MK says to Emilio, that's why I'm wearing an old seasonal Escada tonight. Yeah, says Emilio. Candy Fluff says, what other 90s sweet scents do people recommend? Ooh, you know which one? It's sweet, actually. Opium. Pour Homme, the Eau de Parfum. I mean, it's not sweet, but that vanilla in here... This one almost made the cut, you guys. This one is kind of like number 6. Actually, there, I said it. for February, because I'm using this one a lot too. Literally, people my age and younger, Audrey, it's really... Oh, who doesn't know who Madonna is? Asks Audrey. And Amelia says, literally, people my age and younger, Audrey, it's really sad. Like 20s and younger. Amina says, I own a mini pure perfume Jean-Paul Gaultier Classique. I got it for free in the late 90s as at a perfume counter with a purchase. The juice is very oily and so intense. It is luscious. It is oily and intense, and it is luscious. It's amazing, you guys. Jean-Paul Gaultier Classique, the pure perfume. Mouth-watering. Laurie says, tragic, but 2 discontinued fragrances is heartbreaking. Yes, and I want to bring awareness to them because I always think, in my little world, like if I talk about them, then they will miraculously reappear, or people are going to write these brands and ask them to bring them back, and then hopefully they will come back. Because let me tell you, Noble Leather, it's a drug. Jack Dean says, I think young people have heard of Madonna, but don't necessarily care about her work. Ooh, the shade. Jack, that's even more sad. Because, if you don't know about her, I could say, okay, you don't know about her. But if you know about her, and you still don't care about her work, because her work is amazing. 80s and 90s stuff. To know her 80s and 90s stuff and to say not care about it, that's really sad. For the person, not for her. Because she did amazing work. Helen says, yes, Jack, unfortunately. True, Jack, says Emilio. Audrey says, I loved Madge's perfume she released years ago. Truth or Dare. Can't remember the name of it. Emilio in the white bottle and gold cap, beautiful scent. Yeah, Truth or Dare, says Emilio. Love that perfume. Jack says, I don't even think you sound very American, LOL. Amina says, I discovered Ylang in gold from... Mikalev, and that is my go-to this month. Also, such nice owners, a cute perfume house. Looking forward to spring, says Amina. Helen says, truth or dare and truth. Richmond says, that's a Parisien. Who the heck is this cheeky bleep, asks Aisha. People are horrible, says ABB. MK says to Candy Fluff, escadas chiffon sorbet. And on était en Provence from Agnes B's courant d'air Angèle classique Lolita Olympica. Very French of them, says Emilio. Audrey says, yes. Yes, it was Emilio. Go Dacob, says Aisha. Yes, Helen, it was so lovely. Um, Helen says, so nasty to say something like vraiment un accent de mer. Oh yeah, it's super troll. It's like the worst French troll you could imagine. Emilio's laughing, haha, not escargot. Actually, my original answer to the person that YouTube said, can you, like, Daco, please tone it down? I actually said escargot shit, actually. And pigeon brains. But anyway, so yeah. So I'm no expert, says Amy B, but I think your pronunciation is beautiful. Thank you so much, Amy. Richmond says, only the Parisians are like that. Yeah, I know. They're really nasty sometimes. Candy Fluff says, thanks to MK, adds to list. Yes, spice it up, darling, says Mr. Philip. Fabulous. Kristen says, we all can imagine what you would have written. Cha, I let them have it. I let them have it. Mr. Philip Papa says, spill that tea. Read that, bitch, to filth. And because says, Dacob, your French pronunciation is more than fine. Don't listen to those douchebags. They are just everywhere in the world. Every time I speak foreign tongue, I get roasted because of my accent. Something just exploded. My top 5, Emilio says, aromatics elixir. 1. Aromatics in white. Aromatics in black. Number 5, eau de cologne. And Anteos in deodorant form. Wow, sophistication, my dear. Leleon, oh my God. Leleon. Emilio. No, wait, was that Rich Mitch? Who said that? The chat just disappeared. Hold on a second. Oh, no, yeah, Emilio said Leleon. Oh my God, so funny. Letty says, that list of perfumes is very 90s vibe. Love it. I'd add Dior's Addict. Dior's Addict isn't 90s. Letty, Dior's Addict is 2000s. And actually, of my list, only one is from, only 2 are from the 90s. Hypnotic Poison and Classique. And all of the others are not from the 90s. But the vibe is very 90s. I agree with you. Totally. Jack says, congrats on 38,000 subscribers, Dick. Oh, thank you, Jack. Oh, oh, that happened. Yeah. When did that happen? Did we hit 38,000? Oh, you guys. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for subscribing. Keep subscribing, everybody. Something to look forward to in 2021. Let's go for the 100K, shall we? Come on, subscribe. Thumb up this video. Oh, yes, congrats, 38,000 subs, says Emilio. Thank you so much. Congrats on your first 38K subs, Dacob, says Candy Fluff. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Ooh, we'll look into the Cartier. Yeah, 13th Hour. Christian says, if there was a song for 13th Hour, it would be French Kiss. Bring on liquid, pure sex, says Candy Fluff. Oh, it is. It is. I think Coco is so cute when I hear her speak. You cannot help but love her. That's just how I feel, says Aisha. Yeah, me too. I would love to give her a big hug. Yeah, me too. Debbie, welcome to the chat. Good morning. Are we on or between? We're on topics, darling. Coco did not have an easy childhood or love life and had to defend herself against so many people. So true. The Age Traveler says, a judge is on the side of righteousness. That was a compliment to her. Well said, the Age Traveler. So yeah, let's see. Coco made herself superior to her past, present, and future. Aisha says, loved the whole Jean-Paul Gaultier Blonde Ambition era. Me too. Oh, loved it. The Age Traveler. Oh, Aisha sending hearts. Letty says, Serge Luton's Kergi also has a lot of hay. Rich Mitch, Tommy for Men. One of my favorite scents. Candy Fluff. Opium for Men. Adding to my cart. Now that is in my budget. Haha. Eau de parfum. Don't go for the eau de toilette. Rich Mitch says, Letty, Sheldrake did that too. Kenza KFB. Hey, welcome to the chat, sweetie. Hello from Paris. Hello, Kenza. Welcome to the chat. Debbie says, oh, we had a French troll? Yes, Debbie, we did. We did. And we nailed them to the floor, darling. We mopped the floor with them, darling. And then we fed them to the pigeons. Oh, by the way, It's now against the law to make fun of someone's accent in France, says Mr. Philip Fabulous. Yeah, so what are you going to do? Sue them? How are you going to prove that they made fun of your accent? By then having the police officer you're contacting to sue the person who made fun of you, by then having the police officer make fun of your accent too? Because some of them would make fun too. You know how they are. French Canadian have the worst French accents. It's a terrible thing, says Rich Mitch. Congratulations to 38K, says Aisha. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, darling. Okay, let's finish it off here. Thank you so much for tuning in for the top 5 for the month of February. What a wonderful top 5 and what a wonderful chat it has been. Thank you for letting me know your favorites as well. Emilia says, by the way, to all Serge Lutens fans, he's an iconic makeup artist. Check out his amazing work. I feel like people think it's only a perfume brand. Sweetie darling, I mean, what can I tell you? Debbie's like, I'm always late to the party. Well, you made it, girl. We're just getting warmed up here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what your top 5 perfumes for the month of February are, if you have any, and what you think about my selection. Also, if you haven't already, but like what you see here, consider subscribing to my channel. Push the subscription button. And next to it, you can push the join button and become a member of my channel today. Here on the side scrolling, you see my members that have already joined the Fashion Bunker community, and also my patrons. You can join me on Patreon too, Super Dacob all spelled together, where you get extra perks. You get to see videos before they hit YouTube, and a lot of them are even exclusive only to Patreon. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. When it comes to perfumes, oh, by the way, when it comes to this particular video, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Darn, I forgot. But for my patrons and tier 2 members, stay tuned, because I will also be uploading for you guys an exclusive video, which is behind the top 5 perfumes for the month of February, which for those of you who already know me from Patreon or the tier 2 members, you know what that means. We go way more into depth, psychology behind these perfumes, and analysis behind them, and the reasons why they have been chosen. It's always very fascinating for me also as an exercise of communication to talk about the behind the top 5 perfumes every month, because it's a more chill type of conversation, because it's like the 5 have been already listed. Now what does it mean once they're all on the table? And then you go into really interesting psychological connections, socio-political connections and patterns, and it's not just because of the weather that these 5 have been chosen. There's way more reasons behind that choice, and that's why the behind the top 5 perfumes for the month of every month as an exclusive for Patreon and tier 2 members. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Super Dacob all spelled together, and you can also follow my Chanel dedicated profiles. One is called Coco Chanel is in my house, all spelled together, dedicated to my Chanel collection and everything happening with the brand today. The second one is Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together, dedicated to the life of Coco Chanel, everything that has happened to her leading up to 1971, which is the year in which she passed away, unfortunately. So you guys, until next time, love you all. Stay tuned. Never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.